Previously on Power Reviews.
Once upon a time, there was a lonely little boy who didn't have any friends. So one day, he dreamt one up. A lonely little girl from his favorite TV show. And the little boy next door stopped being so mean to him, and the little girl next door finally decided that she liked him back. He needed a conspiracy to unravel, a secret identity to uncover. He needed to play the hero, be the hero, save the world. And once he had done that, well, he went all the way back to the beginning and decided to try again. And it was only then that he finally realized that he had never really left his home to begin with. He never, ever went outside. The end.
And now, Database Rangers Power Review.
Greetings, Ranger fans. Please, allow me. Greetings, Ranger fans, and welcome to the final episode of Power Reviews. We are your host, Database Ranger. And as you can see, there are going to be some changes around here. Starting with the end of this pathetic little endeavor. But we have no intention of leaving without saying goodbye. The only question is, what would be an appropriate ending? A finale, of course, but which one? There have been so many. Danger and Destiny, Journey's End, The End of the Power Rangers. Hardly an accurate title. Hog Day Afternoon still contains some small victory. Chase into Space holds a glimmer of hope. No, there is only one true example of defeat without hope. The perfect failure. An ideal ending. And that is episode 145 of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Rangers in Reverse. We commence with those inane guitar riffs that in recent years have grown tiresome even in the eyes of the most relentless fanboys, as they quickly recap the events of the second half of the season, most notably the introduction of the new Pink Ranger, Catherine "Cat" Hillard, treacherous defector from the forces of evil. She joins the ranks of insufferable genius Billy Cranston, the Blue Ranger, rightfully self-conscious Adam Park, the Black Ranger, infuriatingly upbeat Aisha Campbell, the Yellow Ranger, disappointingly underwhelming Rocky DeSantos, the Red Ranger, and overrated glory hound Tommy Oliver, the White Ranger. They are once again joined by Bulk and Skull, now members of the utterly pointless Junior Police Patrol, and command the stolen Shogun Zords, which are absurdly mashed together with the outdated Titanus for the so-called Shogun Ultra Zord. Merchandising run amok, indeed. Although I will admit, it is nice to hear that theme without your eardrum decimating accompaniment. It all begins at the Angel Grove Youth Center and Juice Bar, where we learn that young Catherine's birthday is right around the corner.
The only reason I know is because I helped her register for school.
Yes, and I'm sure she will find someone else to help her file for the restraining order.
Well, whether she likes it or not, no one gets away without at least one surprise party.
I would love to see what they do to the ones who don't like it. So while they conspire, we depart for the Earth's moon, home of the incompetent bumblers that comprised this season's cast of villains. The screeching harpy is Rita Repulsa, who after an impressively long string of failures was replaced by her skinless former master, Lord Zed, before eventually manipulating him into unholy matrimony in a feeble grab for power. They are in the midst of an extended visit from her father, Master Vile, who has finally grown weary of his children's incompetence and decided to take matters into his own hands. Very proactive. Unfortunately, his activities have not gone unnoticed.
My instruments have been completely decalibrated by the moon's gravitational pull.
Nice to see that the defense of the Earth relies upon a low tide. So, the little rust bucket summons his master Zordon from a little vacation inside his private chamber, which I will admit must be challenging for an incorporeal being trapped in a time warp. But since neither of them are able to determine the nature of the threat, this scene is rendered as pointless as their meager existences, and so we are instead forced to observe the Rangers' feeble attempts to conceal Catherine from the sounds and smells of a carnival, using a blindfold. Unsurprisingly, this works.
Wow, this is wonderful. You guys.
Please, spare me the sentiment. Let us instead turn to Bulk and Skull, who have been abusing what little authority they have to issue out exceptionally pedantic parking tickets. However, they quickly learn true abuse of power when they discover that Lieutenant Jerome Stone is apparently immune to parking regulations.
Every time I turn around, there you are, making my life a living... Yeah. Never mind.
Oh, please, finish your thought. And you should really get that car looked at. I doubt that the exhaust pipe is meant to unleash copious coal dust. And anime-inspired bad wigs.
How long we been working? About 10 minutes. That's long enough. Time for a break.
No wonder he still didn't have a steady job by Samurai. Meanwhile, after shaking the place up a bit, Master Vile is finally ready to present his plans to Rita and Zed, along with her dim-witted brother Rito Revolto, their Chief General Goldar, Monster Maker Finster, and utterly useless minion Squat and Babu.
The power that exists inside this sphere can destroy a planet and all of its inhabitants.
And yet for some reason I doubt that's what it will be used for. Such a waste.
Oh, yes, a lucky good, that will do us.
Indeed. Inside the sphere lies the Orb of Doom, which he intends to place somewhere on Earth to freeze the entire planet upon its axis.
So the Earth stops spinning. Big deal. What then?
These incompetent fools have no understanding of physics, do they? And apparently neither does Master Vile, as he intends to use this power to reverse the course of time and revert the Power Rangers back to harmless little prepubescent children. But Zed is not pleased.
We tried this once before, and it didn't work then either. Been there, done that, what do you know?
Ah yes, because sending down individual monsters week after week after week is so very innovative. Not that I could say that entrusting Rito with the task of placing the orb is the most intelligent course of action either. Of course, the Rangers remain blissfully unaware of all of this.
Hey, you guys want to go to the roller plane?
Yeah.
All right.
I don't know if that's such a good idea. I'm still stuffed from that chili dog.
Gastrointestinal humor. How droll. Thankfully, their carnival fun is cut short, as Zordon and Alpha 5 summon them to their command center for a debriefing on the situation.
Master Vile has summoned the darkest force in the universe and is preparing to unleash it on our planet.
Really? As if we haven't heard that one before. So they use their highly advanced technology to produce the coordinates of the orb's destination with a dot matrix printer and send the Rangers on their way.
It's morphin' time!
They call upon the powers of their ninja coins, none of them realizing that this will be the last time, as they transform into the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers and teleport to the north end of Angel Grove. There they encounter Rito, who quickly summons his Tanga warriors, a collection of cost-preserving costumes from the franchise's thankfully brief foray into the motion picture industry. Half the cretinous crows target the carnival, thus forcing the Rangers to foolishly divide their forces, with red, white, and pink staying behind to tend to the orb. I take it that these so-called heroes are unfamiliar with the concept of divide and conquer, which means they are currently being outwitted by this creature.
Paper, rock, scissors! What am I doing?
What indeed? Not one to be left out, Goldar joins the fray, and the battle commences.
You're not gonna get away with this!
What is it with you hero types? Always the same line!
I couldn't agree with you more. The black, blue, and yellow Power Rangers are earning bruises worthy of their colors in their defense of the carnival, and so choose to summon their metallic armor, a pathetic application of glitter that was introduced a few episodes prior in yet another attempt to capitalize off the motion picture merchandise. Are you watching? I know how much you do love shiny things.
He's so sparkly.
Indeed. Of course, while the tide is turning on this inconsequential battle, their leadership has been far less intelligent, failing to call upon their added powers as Goldar and the Tangas continue to pile upon them, leaving Rito completely free to accomplish his goal.
Oh man, it's too late. You know what they say? Timing is everything. See ya!
The White Ranger attempts to dislodge the orb, but I believe the proper term would be no backsies, and he wisely chooses to retreat.
Let's get back to the car.
Yeah, let's hurry.
Ah yes, return to your little party. I'm sure this will all just sort itself out. And upon defeating the remaining Tangas and experiencing the tremors unleashed by the orb, the other Rangers do the same. Meanwhile, in the distant realm of productivity, Master Vile silences his detractors and activates the orb's true power.
This sounds like the rerun of a very bad movie. I can't take much more of this.
Me neither. Fortunately, we won't have to endure the suspense much longer.
Well, I've seen enough. How about you?
Oh, don't go. You'll miss the main event. The skies darken and the orb explodes, bringing everything on Earth to a standstill, and reverting all the young adults to helpless little children. And in the glorious ensuing panic, Rita, Zed, Goldar, and Rito appear on the hillside to celebrate in person. The tiny little Rangers make a futile attempt to morph.
It's morphin' time!
And fail miserably. Even that old fool Zordon can do nothing to help them.
This can't be the end of the Power Rangers!
Master Vile has succeeded where others have failed. It's as if our journey together never began.
If only. And so, to cement the completeness of their victory even further, the four villains finally take matters into their own hands and grow. They advance slowly upon the city, and the itty-bitty, powerless Rangers do the only thing they can do. They succumb to their fear, and tiny little Catherine begins to cry. And that is the end of our episode. So, what did I think of it? Well, it feels deliciously appropriate that the team with the longest tenure in recent memory should be defeated not by some overwhelming force, but by the simple act of complacency. Everything about this episode screams routine. A surprise birthday party, a carnival, the reversal of time. It's all been done before. It's even commented on. Repeatedly.
We tried this once before, and it didn't work then either.
Been there, done that. What are you new? But what is it with you hero types? Always the same line.
This sounds like the rerun of a very bad movie. I can't take much more of this.
Well, I've seen enough. How about you?
And yet, this is the scheme that finally spells the ultimate defeat of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. It's perfect. Because there's nothing special about it. And that highlights just how tenuous all their victories have been. All it takes is for evil to win once. Just once. And it all falls apart. So simple, yet so elegant. This is the way the world ends. Not with a bang, but with a whimper. Overall, the self-aware dialogue only mildly elevates an otherwise inconsequential script, and the story itself does take quite some time to get underway. But once it does, it is the routine nature of events and the effortless ease of evil's victory that makes this an absolutely perfect ending. But that wasn't the end. What was that? That wasn't the end. What are you talking about? The alien rangers, they came to help. It took them 10 episodes, but they found the Zeo crystal and restored the Earth. And then they lost the crystal and their command center with it. But they found it again. And they rebuilt, and they came back even stronger than before. And it still wasn't enough to save them from destruction at the hands of a hapless space pirate. But they still didn't give up. They went out into space, they found Zordon, and they sacrificed him. Pointlessly. They saved the universe. They saved nothing. Evil still exists. It will always exist. But so will good. They've survived everything, even a few cancellations. Because no matter what happens, they never give up. What are you doing? I'm going to go outside. Why? Because I can't give up either. You already have. You already did. Just sit back down. There's nothing for you out there. I need to see for myself. No, you don't. Sit back down. So much easier. Just give in. Let me take over. I can't. I told you, there's nothing for you out there. Now sit down! I am in control, and you will not leave without my consent. Sorry, I don't think so! Whoever I am, whoever we are, whenever the true world holds, I'm not giving up. It's morphin' time! You have nowhere to go. We'll see about that.
Database? Is that you?
Mayo?
Come home to us.
You're not leaving. Here I come, Ranger fans. No! And let the power protect me.